and getting a chance to go to different places and meeting different people. I think that takes you out of your elements that you was in. Okay, just because you were born in the ghetto, that don't mean you're a ghetto person. You know, just because you were born poor, that don't mean you have to stay poor.
I know you can bloom, you can be a blossom in a bunch of weeds, you know. So where did that, your value, was it from your mother? Was it a strong mother, extended family, or a role model? Where was
my mother? I feel that my mother really, you know, was the backbone of the whole family, because my father left when we were very young, and then he passed, and then my mother was all on her own. She did whatever she had to do to take care of us. And even when I started making it to the top, people say to my mom, "Boy, you must be proud of your son, Larry." She said, "I'm proud of all my sons. I'm proud of the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I don't favor none of them."
How many siblings did you have?
Well, we have, now it's 10 of us total. You know, I lost a brother back in November, and it still pains me to even think about it. But, you know, he was a good man. But we still try to keep it together, try to hold it together. And in spite of some things in my family that we don't disagree, you know, I still love them all, and I would still try to be there for each and every one of them. And not only that, for our community that we're in, I still try to get involved with the kids, the young people, because we the ones got to set the example for the young kids, because we have to try to leave something for them. I mean, I hate my day darn near, and what I leave behind, they only can benefit from it.
And you have how many children?
5 kids and 3 grandkids. I'm really a young man, though.
I know you are. I know you're a young man. I want to ask, I know you had a hard time growing up, and sometimes we want to make it easier on our children. What are some of the values that you instill in your children?
Well, I tell you, one thing that I say to my kids, get a full education, something I didn't have. Get some education. Go to school, learn all you can learn. I mean, my kids are fortunate because I made some money. They got the computers. They got the learning ability. My daughter's talking about college. My son works here for summer, and he's talking about college. He's talking about football. I tell him, in spite of all that stuff that you want to do, you got to be a good person for yourself. You got to do that. Be a good person. And my kids, you know, when they see people, they see people. They don't see black people. They don't see white people. They don't see that they're better than other kids. They don't see other kids better than them. They don't get around that. If they hanging out or with someone that think they're better, they don't hang with them. And that's one of the things that I'm so proud of my kids with.
Now, I know my parents, they wanted it to be easy for me, and when I got older, my sense of responsibility was not as strong as theirs. Now, you had a strong sense of responsibility. Do you think your children will as well? Do you think that'll be instilled in them, or do you think it's going to be...
I think my son, my kids, would accept responsibility. They will strive on that, because that's what makes you a better person, accepting your responsibility. A lot of people have some responsibility and walk away from it. A lot of people don't want to be able to accept the responsibility that they have.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be back for another round with Larry Holmes.
Health tip brought to you exclusively by Green Acres Natural Foods Market, located in Bradley Fair.
As we roll into the hot days of summer and we're spending more and more time by the lake, we need to remember that our bodies need water internally as well. Without it, it won't function at maximum capacity because our bodies are made up of 70% water. Water helps with many functions in our body. It transports vitamins, nutrients, and minerals to all parts of the body. It works as a shock absorber for our joints, and most importantly, it hydrates our skin, and it flushes out the toxins and keeps our body clean. But remember, if you drink water when you are thirsty, you are already at a 5% dehydration level. Therefore, let's stay ahead of the game. Keep a jug of water with you at all times of the day. Drink one in the morning, one in the evening, and before meals, because it'll curb your appetite. Once again, water is the best element to help our body function at maximum capacity. Don't drink Coke and sweetened fruit juices. They are not substitutes for water. Have a great summer.
Tropical Designs in Bradley Fair, interiorscaping, live plants, and home accessories.
Welcome back to the show, and I must tell you, this time we're going to get a little personal, Larry. I want to talk to you about the family affairs. How's family with you? I mean, you've been married now for how long?
17 years.
17 years. Now, in the 17 years of marriage, do you find it at this stage of the marriage better than what it was when you first got married and first started having children? Now that your children are talking about college and you're getting ready to have an empty nest again, what is your thoughts on?
I tell you, I enjoy being married. I have a good wife. My wife don't nag. She don't put a lot of pressure on me, and she don't question me about a whole lot of dumb stuff that I get involved in the business and whatnot. But as long as we have a good understanding, I think our marriage will always go good. And that's one of the things everybody got to have in marriage is good understanding. You got to be able to sit down and talk about the problems, and we don't have them. I mean, whatever my wife say do it, I do it.
Well, that's why you've been married for 17 years.
A few years ago, you had made a statement, and it was a profound statement at the time, when you had predicted that Mike Tyson was going to go to jail. What made you come up with that scenario?
Well, you know, the company he kept. You know, Tyson went around with people that want to say that you this, you that, and they don't understand the professional business. There's nothing personal in beating somebody up if you're doing it for a living and people are watching it around the world. It's something personal when you take it out as a personal vendetta against another person, because, you know, it's not good. So you carry that along, and Mike Tyson, I seen that he was carrying it along. I mean, he did it in the ring, he did it out of the ring, and you can't do that. And that's why it was easy to predict. If he didn't straighten himself up, he would be in jail in the length of time I predicted. And everybody called me like, wow, you genius, like you know this. I would say I'm not a genius, because you can see it, hands written on the wall. And if Mike Tyson just straightened himself up, he can come back and win another title, and he can do the same thing again and become a better person. He's not a bad guy. It's just some of the surroundings that he has around him is
We
bad.
can always be victim. We got to take responsibility at 30 years old, you know, talk about the people around us.
But he never learned it, because remember, he was in a farm school. He got with Customata. Customata kept him in the camp, trained him. He got out of there, got with Don King. All he did was train and fight. Then he went to jail, got out of jail, fight. He had no time to learn. And see, he's not a bad guy. All he needs is time to learn. He needs to be around good, positive people like myself.
Do you think being around a legend, I mean, can he talk to you? Are you able to talk to him and tell him anything?
Oh, yeah, I can talk to Mike when I see Mike. He's not a bad guy. Everybody thinks he's, you know, you can't approach him. He's unapproachable. But he's a human being. I mean, you know, he might have more money than me, but he don't know as much as I know. I live longer than he lives, so I think I should be a little bit smarter in that field.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back for another round with former heavyweight champion of the world, Larry Holmes.